welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're taking a deep dive into a source you've shared with us. It's excerpts from Trinitarian MAP Method, Mindset, Aim, Practice for Renewal. And this comes from the Built for God movement, BFG they call it.
That's right. And this material, it really lays out a framework. You could think of it as kind of compass, maybe, for spiritual renewal, for personal transformation that's designed to help, the different parts of your life.
Right. And our mission here in this deep dive is really to unpack this MAP method. We want to explore what mindset, aim, and practice actually mean in this context.
Yeah, how they relate.
And importantly, the practical steps the source suggests to, bring them into harmony. So get ready, everyone, to look at a method that promises clarity, maybe even purpose, by connecting beliefs, goals, and daily habits.
Okay.
Let's unpack this.
So diving right in, the source introduces this Trinitarian MAP method pretty strongly. It positions it as like a core piece for spiritual renewal. And it fits within a bigger framework they mention, the 3 R's: restore, renewal, respond.
And its purpose seems pretty ambitious. It's framed as a tool to ignite something called a new evangelization.
Yes, that's the term they use. And also to guide believers towards spiritual transformation, and to fuel intimacy with Jesus Christ.
So the idea is to empower people to live and share their faith, but with, sincerity.
Exactly, sincerity. And what's really interesting, I think, about the foundation of this method, at least as the source describes it, it's explicitly rooted in the relational nature of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Okay, that's a significant detail.
It is. It means it's not just presented as like a generic self-help model. It's directly tied into a fundamental theological concept.
Yeah, that connection to the Trinity, it really jumped out at me too. It suggests the whole structure of the method, this relationship between mindset, aim, and practice, is seen as mirroring that divine relationship somehow. It's like presenting a blueprint for inner harmony that is, in their view, divinely inspired.
That's a good way to put it. It offers a potential insight into why alignment is so central here. If the ultimate reality, the Trinity, is seen as relational harmony, then seeking inner alignment through MAP becomes sort of a path to participate in that reality. It's more than just getting your ducks in a row.
Participating in that reality.
Yeah.
Interesting. And they mention using some pretty modern tools too, right, to get this message out.
They do. Things like an AI chat box, AI podcast, even AI music, apparently.
Wow.
Alongside, the more traditional relational approaches to, as they put it, meet people where they are.
So quite a blend of old and new there.
It certainly is. So getting to the heart of the MAP method itself, it's this core idea: alignment.
Yeah, alignment.
The source argues quite clearly that when your mindset, your aim, and your practice are, and they use the phrase the same or aligned, that's when you move out of confusion and into, a profound sense of harmony, clarity.
Okay, and why does that happen? What's the mechanism they describe?
Well, the source explains it like this. Confusion starts to fade when your entire being feels like it's moving in the same direction. It's not pulled apart.
Makes sense.
Your thoughts support your direction.
Right.
That direction then guides your actions.
Right.
And those actions, in turn, reinforce the very beliefs that started the whole process.
Feedback loop, kind of.
It's like having that compass we talked about, but the needle isn't just spinning wildly.
Yeah.
When mindset, aim, and practice line up, you're no longer pulled in conflicting directions by, scattered thoughts or competing desires. You start living with real intention, focus.
And a renewed sense of meaning, they say.
That's the promise.
So the source isn't suggesting a life without challenges, but rather a life that feels deeply grounded, anchored in something they describe as deeper than circumstance.
Deeper than circumstance. I like that.
Yeah. So your mindset is shaped by what you believe is true. Your aim is guided by a clear purpose, and your daily practices become, an authentic expression of both.
Right. And the source is very clear. Aligning your MAP specifically with truth, and they explicitly mean God's truth here, that's what opens the door to profound renewal and intimacy with Christ.
So it elevates it beyond just personal development techniques.
Definitely. It shifts it into what they frame as a truly transformative spiritual journey.
Okay, that makes sense. Which brings us neatly to the individual components. Let's really zero in on each one. Maybe start with mindset.
Good idea. So mindset. In this framework, it's presented as the absolute foundation.
The starting point.
The starting point. It's your core belief system. It shapes everything: how you see yourself, how you see others, your perspective on the whole world. The source really emphasizes its powerful influence on your decisions, your reactions.
It's like the operating system for your life then.
That's a great analogy. And a mindset that's rooted in positive values that can nurture resilience, it can inspire purposeful living.
And how is it strengthened? The source mentions something key here.
Good habits. That comes up again and again.
Right. Small, consistent actions.
Exactly. Those small, consistent actions are vital because they don't just, get things done. They actually reinforce your values.
How so?
They make those values active, living parts of your daily life. Things like consistently choosing gratitude over complaining, practicing discipline instead of giving in, or extending kindness when it's maybe not easy.
So the habits make the values real.
Precisely. And the source gives some practical ways to actively build this strong mindset.
Okay, like what?
First, self-reflection. Taking time to really identify your most important values, what actually matters to you.
Okay. Sounds simple, but probably not easy.
Probably not. Then incorporating daily practices, things like journaling, prayer, meditation, ways to stay grounded in those values day to day. They also suggest positive influence, consciously surrounding yourself with people who actually embody the values you admire.
Makes sense. You absorb what you're around.
And finally, continuous learning, seeking out knowledge, experiences that challenge and help you refine your mindset, not staying static.
So it's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. And by cultivating this kind of disciplined, value-driven mindset, the source suggests you start to unlock your true potential for purpose, which in turn can inspire others and create positive change. Every action you take, even the small ones, becomes, and I'm quoting here, a testament to our belief system.
Okay, so once you have that solid foundation of mindset, how does that translate into, action and direction? That feels like the next step.
It is, and that's where the second element comes in, aim. Aim defines the direction you're heading. It's the guiding plan for your choices, your actions. It's essentially serving as your internal compass.
The compass again. So mindset is the map, maybe, and aim is the compass needle pointing the way.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, something like that. Having a clear aim keeps you focused on what truly matters.
Helps cut through the noise.
Exactly. And helps you move toward your ultimate goals. It provides essential clarity, motivation, especially when, life throws distractions your way, which it always does.
Always does. And connecting back to mindset, habits are crucial here too, aren't they?
Crucial. The source calls them the stepping stones that keep you aligned with your aim. What bridge the gap between where you are now and where you aspire to be.
Okay, so practicing habits like self-discipline to stay on track, or gratitude to appreciate the journey, perseverance to push through obstacles. It's not just about doing tasks. It's reinforcing the very values that support the direction of your life, the aim.
You got it. It builds that solid foundation needed to keep your aim steady, even when things get tough.
So what are the practical ways they suggest for aligning aim and habits?
Okay, the source outlines a few. First, set clear goals. Define your long-term direction, your ultimate aim, but then break it down into actionable short-term steps.
Makes it less overwhelming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Second, develop a routine. Build daily habits that directly reflect your core values and actively move you closer to your aim.
So the routine serves the aim.
Yes. Third, evaluate regularly. You need to periodically check in, assess if your actions are genuinely aligning with where you ultimately want to go. Are you drifting?
A course correction mechanism.
Right. And fourth, stay adaptable. Be open to refining your aim as you grow, as you gain new insights. It's not meant to be a rigid, fixed point forever. Life changes, you learn things.
So flexibility is built in.
It has to be. The outcome they describe here is creating a life that deeply reflects your values, not just in theory, like on paper, but in how you actually live day in and day out. Those small, intentional steps you take every day, they add up to meaningful progress. They turn your vision, your aim, into reality.
Small steps adding up, that feels achievable.
Which brings us quite naturally to the third and final element, practice.
Okay, this feels like where it all comes together.
It is. The source presents practice as the place where spiritual intent and physical effort unite, where the inner meets the outer.
And this union happens through, let me guess, small, consistent habits.
Habits are the engine, the mechanism of practice. These habits, they don't just implement your aim, like carrying out a plan. They also strengthen your mindset, they refine your aim as you go, and they actively shape your character toward virtue.
So practice feeds back into mindset and aim.
Exactly. It's interconnected. The source even explicitly connects this idea to the little way.
Associated with Saint Therese of Lisieux.
That's the one. Her approach emphasized finding holiness not in, grand heroic gestures, but in doing simple everyday acts with great love. And what's truly striking, I think, about how the source defines practice is this statement. Every little action, thought, and habit is a form of practice.
Wait, every little action, thought, and habit?
Yes. It completely redefines the concept, doesn't it? Practice isn't just the formal things like prayer or going to church or meditation. It's everything you do and even think throughout the day. Every moment becomes an opportunity for practice.
Wow, that's a powerful reframing. It means you're always practicing something.
You are, whether you realize it or not. And that means your practice is constantly influencing you, constantly shaping you.
So how does it influence mindset and aim specifically?
Okay, for your mindset, practice shapes how you think, how you perceive things, how you respond to the world. So engaging in consistent positive habits actively renews your mindset and strengthens your core beliefs over time.
Okay.
And for your aim, practice ensures your actions stay aligned with your purpose. It helps you stay on course. It's the daily grind, the repetition, the effort involved that transforms a distant aim from just a nice idea into a series of achievable milestones. It makes it real.
Right. And that's where the power of physical action comes in, isn't it? Practice involves tangible physical steps.
Yes. Taken daily. Discipline, effort, repetition. It is the essential bridge, that's a key word here, the bridge where your inner spiritual aspirations, your mindset, and your aim meet your actual human effort. And this meeting point, this bridge, is where real growth and transformation happen, according to the source.
Where aspiration meets effort. Okay. So what helps build strong habits for this kind of practice?
The source points to a few key aspects. Consistency, obviously. Regularly engaging in actions that reinforce your values and goals. Repetition matters.
Got it.
Reflection. Taking time to assess how your daily practices are actually shaping your mindset and aim. Is it working? Is it taking you where you want to go? And adaptability. Being willing to adjust your habits as needed to better align with your evolving purpose and the truth you're seeking. Don't be afraid to tweak things.
Consistency, reflection, adaptability. So if mindset is belief and aim is direction, practice is really the vital connector, the bridge.
It's the bridge that unites them, exactly. It's through practice that your inner landscape, your mindset, and your future goals, your aim actually takes shape in the tangible world.
And this harmony then between the spiritual intent and the physical action, between body and spirit, that's the path to renewal.
That's presented as the path to deep renewal and transformation. Yes.
Okay, so pulling it all together.
Yeah, pulling it all together, the source really emphasizes that aligning your mindset, aim, and practice with truth, and again, they're specific, with God's truth as they define it. That's the key.
The key that unlocks.
That opens the door to profound renewal and true intimacy with Christ. It's framed not as mere self-improvement, remember?
Right.
But as a transformative journey of aligning yourself with ultimate reality.
And they bring in Aquinas to back that up.
They quote St. Thomas Aquinas saying, truth cannot contradict truth, which sort of reinforces this idea that the alignment they're talking about in the M.A.P. method needs to be grounded in something fundamentally true and consistent. It all has to fit together.
Truth cannot contradict truth. That adds another layer.
It does. And just looking briefly at the list of chapter titles provided in the source material, it gives you a sense of how comprehensive this whole framework aims to be. You see topics like the mystery of God, embracing dualities, ego, simplicity, humility, faith, paradox, unity, leadership, compassion, judgment, materialism, divine balance, forgiving debt. I mean, it goes on. It really hints that this M.A.P. method is part of a much broader, maybe even all-encompassing path for spiritual life and transformation they're outlining.
Okay, so we've really dug into this Trinitarian MAP method, mindset, aim, and practice, as it's presented in the source material. A framework clearly designed for spiritual renewal, for transformation.
Yeah, and it offers a pretty clear perspective, doesn't it? That confusion gives way to clarity, to harmony, when our internal beliefs, our external direction, and our daily habits are all aligned.
And importantly, rooted in truth. It really stands out. It's not just a category of activities you do. It's presented here as the absolutely vital bridge, the thing that translates your inner landscape, your mindset, and your future goals, your aim, into tangible reality.
It really is where the rubber meets the road, as they say.
And, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The source suggests every little action, thought, and habit is a form of practice. So what does this powerful idea really mean for you listening right now? If everything you think about, everything you aim for, and everything you do, no matter how small it seems, is constantly shaping you.
Whether you're conscious of it or not.
Right, whether you're paying attention or not, it raises a really important question, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
The main takeaway really seems to be this crucial alignment.
Absolutely. Aligning your beliefs, your mindset with your chosen direction, your aim, and your daily actions, your practice.
And it's presented not just as a nice idea, but as a practical path to genuine spiritual renewal and really deep personal growth.
And don't forget the power of the small things. The source really hammers home that consistent, even seemingly minor daily habits have a huge impact over time.
Yeah, they really shape who you become and where you end up. The small hinges swing the big doors, as they say.
Well put.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Think about one area in your life right now where things might feel a bit misaligned.
Where the mindset, the aim, and the practice aren't quite matching up.
Exactly. And if you find one, just one small intentional shift you could make in your routine, starting today, even to begin bringing those elements into a little bit better harmony, towards the life you truly want, towards the person you're meant to become. Something to think about.